T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and lift off.
Coach on Fire Radio.
Well, welcome to Create a Life You Love with Sarah Shakespeare. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Very, very happy that you've taken the time to listen in. I've got an amazing guest coming up later who you're going to really, really enjoy spending time with. It's a lady that I met last year, and I have to say, it's been an amazing year getting to know her. So I'm very, very happy to have her with us this evening. I always spend the first 10 minutes of the show talking over some things that I think are helpful points, important points, give you a little bit of information about what I do, who I am, why I love having a radio show, and different things that I do online and within my own life that might interest you, get you to know a little bit more about me. And that's how I want to be seen and heard and known. So if you ever meet me in real life and everything you've seen online, you can say, oh, she's exactly as she is online, on the phone, when you see her do videos. So I really try and be authentic as much as I can be so that when you meet me in real life, you go, okay, I feel like I already know you. So you heard at the beginning that I'm Sarah Shakespeare. I live in British Columbia, which is my dream destination to live in. I moved to Canada in year 2000, and I always call it my millennium move because I moved here right at the end of 2000. It was a big decision that's really, really great, and I love it, but it was just a massive move for me to do. So when I think about helping people create a life you love, this is what I feel like I've been doing for the last few years, trying to put things together and to create the life that I love for myself and for my family. So when I think about what I've been doing for the last 25 years, I've been in the health and fitness industry for 25 years. And when I think about how far it's come along and how wonderful it is to be part of that industry, for me, it's felt like I haven't been working. It's felt like I've just been talking to people for years and years and years about things that help them, that help bring, fitness to their life, well-being, longevity. So when I've been working with people, I haven't actually felt like it's been a job because I'm a big people person. So I felt as though I've just been meeting someone new, listening about their life goals, listening about their fitness goals, listening about anything that helps them move forward, create something amazing for themselves and for their families, or individually, whatever that means to them. I want to help be part of that. So I joined a gym when I was 16 years old and loved it immediately. It just seemed like the right environment for me to be in. I'd actually been raised throughout my teenage years to go into a clerical job. So anything I spoke about at school, at home, it was always with some sort of secretarial or banking job in mind. And when I was 16, I actually went to a training position in a bank in England. And I have to say, it was quite boring for me during those 4 weeks. It wasn't anything that really, really interested me to do. The most interesting part, I guess, of getting ready for that day would be that I could be dressed up in a suit and shoes. And because I love fashion and looking nice, that seemed to be the highlight of actually doing that. I didn't really love the job. So I'm really, really pleased that at age 16, 17, I got the opportunity to look at something that was supposed to be my life, but I realized that it wasn't going to be. And then joining a gym and being in that environment and being around fitness things, nutrition, reading about different muscles and stuff, it really, really interested me. So that was the perfect road for me to go down. And I'm very, very happy that I went down that road, stayed on that road. And even it's my 45th year now, I still continue to follow that healthy lifestyle, enjoy what I'm doing with that and helping other people do that. So when I became a personal trainer 25 years ago, nobody knew what that job was. It was a job where people said, what do you do? Like you wear runners to work and leggings and a hoodie and aren't you dressed up for work? Like I thought that's what you were going to do. And then I would go over exactly what I do with people and why it was great to get paid. I help people change their lives. They actually, even though I was younger than them, they really listened to what I had to say about things because they knew that I wanted to help them. So it was a really, really great environment for me to go into. And over the years, personal trainers and coaches have become a very, very big way of life for people. Whereas years ago, it was just available to the well-off people because it was a new career that came out. So it was just the well-off elite people that went into having coaches and trainers. But now everybody's realizing that there's value there, and that they need somebody to help them, and that you need a bit more than yourself. And I'm also a big believer in coaches needing coaches and trainers needing trainers as well. So when I think about that side of things, you know, everybody needs help in certain areas of their life. So that's why being in the fitness industry has been a really, really great thing for me to do. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about tonight is when you decide to go into a career choice, why do you go into that area? And for me, I really, really, really stress to people about doing things that make you happy. And I know being happy doesn't always make the bigger dollars. I know that. But I just think that, you know, to go through life and not being able to do things that you love each day becomes really, really distressing for people. It creates a lot of stress. So whatever point you are in your life, I think that you're able to create something different. So when given the opportunity last year to do a radio show, I was asked what I would want to call the show. And without hesitation, I said, create a life you love. And even as the show was being put together and we were starting the show, I was asked finally before it was advertised, are you really sure about the name? And I said, absolutely sure about this name. It's the first name that came to mind. And it's something that I want to help people create every single day. And we all have different reasons and different things that we put our hearts towards, that we goal set towards, that we put out there. It's always different to other people. So I wanted to help people create a life you love on their terms. So every single guest that comes onto my show always has creating a life you love in mind. So that's why I've had lots of different people come onto the show from different walks of life, different industries, different age groups. And every single person I've had has helped people create a life they love. So when I do talk to people about being on the show, whether I reach out to them or they reach out to me, I always talk to them ahead of time to see whether it's something that I'm interested in too. So even from a selfish point of view, because I go through the interview, I want to be really, really interested in what's going out there, what my listeners are listening to. And I didn't just want it to be a fitness show. I wanted it to be something where people said, oh my God, Sarah's show is going to be on tonight. I wonder who she's got on. I know it's going to be someone that offers value to me. So that's why I wanted to make sure that every single guest I have on is somebody that you would want to get a notebook out to. So at the same time, when I do a pre-chat with people before they come on the air, I'm always interested. And I've been really, really lucky in this last year to be able to have the most amazing guests come on that have actually interested me, have helped me. And I know that I've had great feedback from other people that have said, oh, this is great. I love the people that you have on. So very, very happy that that's really, really gone well for me there. Now, one thing I also wanted to do when I came online, I've only been on social media for about 2.5 years. I decided not to go on it for 10 years. So for the first 10 years of Facebook and the first few years of Instagram, I decided that wasn't the place for me to be because I believed that I was a people person and I didn't need to have social media because I had a ton of people around me. I didn't have to go out of my local area to meet more people, do more things. And since I was from England and I would go back to England and visit, I had the opportunity to expand and continue my friendships that were in a different country. So 2.5 years ago, I decided to go online. It was somewhere where I knew that it was about time I got into. And I have to say, it's been the best positive experience that I ever possibly could have asked for. So I know a lot of people don't love the online space, and they've had a negative feeling about that. Things that have been not so good have happened for them there. But for me, I have to say, my whole experience with social media has been great. And I'm going to give you a rundown to how I feel my time on there has been. My main thing that I try to do on social media is talk about motivation. Because I'm, again, trying to create a life you love, but I really want people to feel motivated. So when I looked at how I wanted to portray myself online, I wanted to be exactly, again, like I said at the beginning of the show, exactly like I was if you met me. And I would always be saying different sayings. I'd be motivating you to look on the bright side of life. I'd be talking about having a full glass. And, you know, you're lucky to have a glass, never mind a full glass or an empty glass. So I wanted to create something online that was exactly as it would be. So when you follow me on different social media platforms, you will see that I talk about motivation. I talk about creating things that you love. I talk about having patience. I definitely talk about self-care and how I believe it's so, so important that you do things for yourself each day. How is it that you can go through your life and give to others if you're not absolutely doing something for yourself? So for me, I wanted to make sure that part of my big message that I get out to people is that it's so important that you do put yourself first. It isn't selfish, and it's okay to be full of yourself, is what I kind of word it as, because if you're not full of yourself, how are you able to give back to others? So that's, at this point, this is where I want to introduce my guest. Carol has such an interesting life. When I've spoken to her about different areas of her life, she's got so many great things that you're going to find so interesting, things that she's overcome, things that she's continuing to be motivated with, the lives that she's changed, so many different things. It's going to be a great interview ahead of us tonight. So my next guest is Starr Taylor. She's the founder and director of Storytelling for Creative Publishing Group. She's a writer, a certified life coach, an NLP practitioner, #1 international bestselling author for the Sisterhood Folios series, international bestselling author for a solo book, which is called Life in Pieces, From Chaos to Clarity, inspirational and international speaker, solopreneur and founder of the Traveling Sisterhood. Her passion is to inspire, help others, and to make their voices heard, community, and help facilitate the personal growth of others within themselves and within each other. So how could I not have this guest on my show? So thank you, Carol. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited. We've been wanting to do this for a long time.
We have. So I'm so happy to have you on the air tonight. Even reading that description and reading your bio out there, there's so many amazing things that you've done in so many different areas of your life. It's so inspiring to hear that you're not even finished, you're still going and going. And every time I see something online that you're doing, or I read something that you're doing, you're always doing something else. There seems to be no stop for you. And I find that personally on my side very, very inspirational. So if we were going to meet Carol today, what would we want to know about Carol Starr Taylor?
Oh my God. Talk about an open question.
Yes.
Well, I have to say, I mean, for me, like yourself, authenticity is I am the same as you're listening to me right now, as I would be speaking to anybody, as I would be addressing an audience, or whether I'm working one-on-one with one of my authors. I would say that, you've got to be your true self. So I think that the journey has been a long one, and very, very interesting, I would say. Definitely colorful. And I truly believe that, yes, I'm constantly doing things. I'm constantly, meeting so many different people and understanding, what I can do to make their voices heard, because I think that how important it is. I know that growing up and throughout my life, pretty much I didn't have a voice until I was 46 years old. So yes, I was out there. Yes, I was social, but that's different than having a voice. And once I finally decided to tell my story, which we can get into later, I think I realized, and at the same time, as I had reached that rock bottom moment, the Traveling Sisterhood, traveling meaning journey, was born. And that was a global group that was, it was not revenue generating in any way. It was just for women to understand that they're not alone. And as I was connected to so many people and I knew so many people, very few people really knew me. And I think that that's an important component, because even people that are gregarious by nature, and they're out there and they're social, doesn't mean that people really know who they are or what they're going through, because you never know what goes on behind closed doors and what's inside. And so by bearing my soul in my book, Life in Pieces, From Chaos to Clarity, I think it opened up a wonderful, it was a segue to understanding and letting people know, women especially, I think my audience is mostly women, that they aren't alone and that we've got your back. And that's how I live my life each and every day. I've got your back. And, I think that the universe has really opened that up and, basically, as you say, creating the life you love. And now I live my passion and my purpose through publishing, through speaking, and through helping women share their stories.
I think it's great. When I think about the story title that you used for your book, Broken Pieces, From Chaos to Clarity, explain a bit about that story without too much, because we want people to buy the book and not necessarily hear about the whole story.
Sure.
But
Sure.
tell us about why that was really important for you to put that story out there.